Several young Sheldon characters are returning in Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage. The Young Sheldon spin-off series will focus on the Cooper's eldest son as he begins married life with his wife and baby. Its title suggests a rocky road for the couple, likely ending in divorce to match the backstory for Georgie set up in The Big Bang Theory. Its events will take place after Sheldon leaves for Caltech, making it unlikely the young genius will appear, despite star Ian Armitage being open to reprising his role. It was initially unclear whether any of Georgie's family would appear after the Young Sheldon finale explained that the young couple would be starting their own life. By then, the pair had already moved out of the Cooper's house and in with the McAllisters, who lived across Medford. Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage is supposed to be different from Young Sheldon, so it seemed unlikely that many stars from its predecessor would appear. As more information about the sequel spin-off came out, however, it was revealed that several Young Sheldon characters are coming back, at least as guest stars. It would have been strange to omit Mary Cooper from Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage. The Cooper matriarch was a big part of her children's lives, and that would have been doubly true after the tragic events of the Young Sheldon finale. Mary suffered the double blow of George Sr.'s death and Sheldon going to Caltech, so she needs something to fill her time. Thus, she would likely annoy Georgie and Mandy by showing up all the time to check in on her granddaughter. Mary will likely also butt heads with the McAllisters, particularly if she shows up uninvited. Initially, it didn't seem like Mary would be part of the sequel series at all, but it has been announced that Zoe Perry is returning for the premiere episode of Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage. It remains to be seen whether this is a one-off appearance to help usher in the newest show in the Big Bang Theory franchise, or Mary will be a recurring character. Annie Potts Meemaw is one of the more popular characters from the Big Bang Theory prequel. She was always ready with a sardonic quip, was there for the family when they needed her, and was one of the few people who could get Sheldon to change his behavior. Additionally, Young Sheldon's Meemaw relationship storyline didn't get a proper wrap-up, leaving the question open of whether she ended up with Dale after the final credits rolled. The only clue to her future thus remains that she was widowed when she showed up in The Big Bang Theory. For all these reasons, it's good news that Meemaw will return for at least one episode of Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage. She will likely be as overbearing as she was after her namesake was born in Young Sheldon, but she also might be able to mediate if there are problems within the family. Whatever her story is, she will undoubtedly add to the humor with her trademark snark. She will probably also refuse to leave Georgie and Mandy alone, though she may have some sage advice if they are having a hard time. Missy was not originally expected to be part of the Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage cast, which was hugely disappointing news. Although Sheldon's rebellious twin sister didn't get nearly enough screen time during the final season, she remained one of the most popular characters, and with good reason. She was Sheldon's polar opposite and often seemed headed down a bad path. The Big Bang Theory made it clear that she did not grow up to be a happy adult. If anything, she was the least successful of the Cooper kids by the time they were in their 30s. Missy's inclusion will add a relatable and interesting dimension to Georgie and Mandy's story that couldn't be told without including his family. Missy's story won't remain as unfinished as it seemed from the Young Sheldon finale, however. She is slated to appear in the second episode of Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage and will likely become a recurring character, as the writers intend for Georgie to have to balance being a new dad and husband with trying to take care of his little sister. This is particularly important as her acting out is expected to get worse now that her father is gone. Missy's inclusion will add a relatable and interesting dimension to Georgie and Mandy's story that couldn't be told without including his family. Georgie will have to be a big part of the new show since his name is in the title, and the premise revolves around his marriage to Mandy. Throughout the 7 years that Young Sheldon was on the air, Georgie grew from a somewhat dim-witted high school freshman to a responsible adult who not only wants to provide for his wife and baby. More impressively, he will also be taking care of his mother and sister after his father's death, something that he promised George at his funeral during the Young Sheldon finale.